My mother told me stories every night before bed. She would curl beside me, wrapping her tail around us both. One night, though, her story was different. She told me about the 3 little pigs. It started like the tale everyone in the forest knew. The pigs outsmarted the big bad wolf and lived happily in their brick house. But in her version, her voice trembled near the end.
And then those 3 pigs, they ate the poor wolf while he was still alive.
Why do they say wolves are dangerous, Mama? We didn't even do anything bad.
That's what they want you to believe.
I stared at her, wide-eyed and silent. That was when I noticed the scar on her head, a bald patch where no fur had grown back. I had asked about it once before. She hadn't answered.
Never trust pigs. They are the cleverest, most deceitful creatures in the forest. They're the most dangerous. Promise me you'll never go near them.
I promised, though I didn't understand why the forest feared wolves like us, while the pigs were loved. I held on to her words not because I believed them, but because she believed them so deeply. That changed the day I saw them. I was wandering along the edge of the woods when a tomato rolled into my paw. It was still warm from the sun. As I bent to pick it up, I looked up and saw 3 pigs just a few steps away. Their baskets were filled with tomatoes. All 3 were smiling. Something about those smiles felt wrong. I raised the tomato. I just wanted to give it back. I think you dropped this. They didn't reply. One of them threw a tomato at my face. It splattered across my muzzle. Then the second, then the third. They laughed and walked away like it was all a game. I didn't want revenge. I only wanted to know why. So I ran after them. They didn't run. Before I could react, they shoved me into the dirt. One pinned me while the others laughed, pulling out a pair of buzzing clippers. I screamed, terrified, as they sheared off patches of my fur. My skin stung. I howled at a sound I didn't even recognise as my own. That was when I heard voices approaching. Others in the forest had heard my cries. The pigs moved fast. They smeared tomato juice onto themselves, groaning and collapsing. A group of animals arrived in the clearing just as they hit the ground. Within seconds, they looked like victims. And I, mouth stained red, half-shaven and trembling, looked exactly like the monster they needed me to be. No one looked closely. No one asked what had happened. A wolf attacked them, someone said. The crowd rushed me. I curled into a ball, trying to shield myself, but their hooves and claws came down without mercy. I didn't fight back. I only cried. Then they left, satisfied, certain they had saved someone from a predator. I walked home alone. That night, I finally understood what my mother had tried to teach me. The truth didn't matter. The forest only believed what made them feel safe. After that, I stayed inside. I didn't speak. I didn't look outside. Only my mother remained. One morning, she told me she would go find food. Before leaving, she turned to me and said,
"Don't open the door for anyone."
She never came back. By nightfall, my hunger gnawed at me, but fear was louder. Eventually, I stood by the window, hoping to catch a glimpse of her return. What I saw instead made my breath stop. The 3 pigs were sitting by a fire, just outside the trees, turning something over the flames that looked like a tail. One of them looked up and met my gaze. I dropped below the window. Moments later, I heard a knock. I crept to the door and peered through the crack. It was her face. I opened the door, hope rising in my chest. But it wasn't her. It was them. And in their hands they held her head. They stepped forward with a sack. I turned and ran. I ran until the air burned in my lungs. I didn't look back. I didn't have to. I knew they were following, certain they'd already won. They caught me. One dragged me down. Another pinned my arms. I screamed, but nothing came out. My voice was already gone. They cut off my ears. They pulled out my teeth. They stripped away my fur until I was raw and trembling. I wasn't a wolf anymore. And they weren't pigs. They put on my fur. They wore my face. They became the predator the forest had always feared. That night they hunted. They tore through the trees, killing rabbits, lambs and deer. They left behind torn bodies and blood. And in the morning, they cried. They told the forest they had been attacked again, that the wolf had returned, that they had barely survived. They claimed he had escaped, injured but alive, hiding somewhere in the shadows, and the forest believed them, because it was easier. Now I lie here, deep in the woods, my body broken and bruised. I try to move, but everything aches. My breath is shallow. My vision is fading. I can't speak. I can only listen to the voices drawing closer. The forest is coming. They think they found the monster. I hear the pigs among them, pointing toward where I lie. One of the sheep shouts that it's time to end this, that the wolf must be destroyed. One of the pigs walks past me and pauses. He leans in, just enough so that I can hear his voice.
You see? They only believe what we want them to believe. In the end, it's the winners who get to rewrite the story. And now, goodbye.
On all my hunting trips, I had never let any prey escape my grasp. If a noble prince like me desired something, it would surely become mine. As I was enjoying my victory, a loud noise suddenly caught my attention. An ugly frog was swimming in the pond. Its slimy body disgusted me. Since childhood, I've always hated frogs. Then, a mischievous idea crossed my mind. I tied the frog to a heavy rock and tossed it back in the water. Look at how it struggled helplessly made me laugh. But just as I was laughing, something horrifying happened. The frog exploded, splattering sticky slime all over me. Pain tore through my body like fire. My skin turned slimy. My hands disappeared, replaced by webbed toes. I tried to scream, but only a disgusting ribbit came out. I looked into the water and saw my most hated reflection. I had become an ugly, wart-covered frog. Then, an old voice spoke beside me.
This is your curse. You shall suffer for cruelly tormenting an innocent creature. To break it, you must receive a kiss from the one true princess.
I was fighting against my frog instincts. How could a noble prince like me endure such a thing? I belonged in a grand palace, dining on golden plates and sleeping in a warm bed. I couldn't stand these miserable days. Suddenly, I heard crying near the pond. Wasn't that a beautiful princess? I hurried over. My fair princess, why do you weep so bitterly?
A talking frog? Well, I suppose that doesn't matter now. I'm crying because my beloved golden ball has fallen into the water.
I knew this was my chance. Do not cry, princess. I can retrieve your golden ball. But what will you give me in return?
Whatever you wish. I would give all my fine clothes and jewels and everything that I have in the world.
I seek no jewels nor fine robes. I shall return your golden ball, if you promise to let me stay in your palace, dine from your golden plate, rest in your soft bed, and grant me a good night kiss.
Very well. I promise. Just bring me back my golden ball.
I leaped into the water. In just a few moments I found the ball. But as soon as I hopped back onto the shore, the princess snatched the ball from me.
What nonsense you speak! A filthy frog like you could never belong by my side. Now go away!
She laughed mockingly and ran off. Furious, I chased after her. When I reached the magnificent palace, I saw the princess happily playing with her golden ball. I leaped in front of her. "You made me a promise, princess! You must keep your word!"
Go away, you disgusting frog!
But I refused to give up. Each night I croaked at her window, disturbing her sleep.
You awful frog! You're so noisy and annoying! Fine. You may eat from a golden plate and sleep in a soft bed, but only for one day. Then back to your filthy pond.
And what about the kiss, princess? I swear, just one kiss, and I'll leave.
Very well.
At last, I dined from a golden plate and rested on a luxurious bed. I felt like a prince once more. Now, princess, give me a kiss. Without warning, she tied me to the golden ball.
Did you really think I'd kiss an ugly frog? Keep dreaming. You're nothing but my plaything now.
The princess showed no mercy. Dart after dart whizzed past me as I leaped in terror. My body grew heavier. I struggled helplessly, just like the frog I'd once tormented in the pond. Was this my punishment? Then a searing pain coursed through my body. My warty skin burst open, spewing foul slime. The princess was laughing with delight when, all of a sudden, thick, slimy liquid splattered onto her. The princess screamed in terror. She collapsed to the ground, her body trembling violently. The princess had transformed into a grotesque frog. Heavy footsteps thundered down the hall. Then the guards burst into the chamber. The frog princess panicked and leapt through the window into the night. As for me, I lay gasping on the floor, too weak to move. There was nothing left but to accept my grim fate. The curse had claimed us both.
This is your curse. To break it, you must receive a kiss from the one true prince.